Welcome to the 1000 PS channel. My name is Busty Wolter. I'm the dirt bike expert for 1000 PS and I'm in Florida at Gatorback motocross track for the presentation of the new Triumph TF250X. That's the first motocross bike that Triumph is bringing onto the market. The whole bike is a complete new bike, so every screw, everything is developed from scratch on, and the goal of the development was to be in the front of the 250cc class from the beginning on. So it's a complete construction that's designed by the Triumph engineers. The bike is built in Thailand, but the same quality measurements go on for those construction facilities as for the mother facilities in Great Britain. And so it's a complete new bike. The frame is out of aluminum, and they put in mind in the development already that they're gonna bring out a 450 motocross bike as well as sports enduro bikes in the future. And it's a very strong engine that's very compact in its dimensions. It has a 48 horsepower maximum, and so that's top notch in this class. The whole bike ready to ride without the fuel in the 7-liter tank is 104 kilograms, so it's really light. I think only Honda has the same weight with the stock bikes. A lot of high quality components are installed, like Brembo brakes, Galva brake discs, Pro Taper, handlebar, neck and triple clamps. In the aftermarket there's also Akrapovic exhaust available and X-Ray hole shot devices. As I said, the goal in the development of the bike was to be in the front of the class from the beginning on, and with riders like Ricky Carmichael, Ivan Tedesco, Jeff Stanton, Ivan Cervantes and Clement Desal being involved in the development of the bike, and a really strong team of engineers and race team managers that are involved in the Triumph motocross program right now. Yeah, they put on a lot of effort into the development of the bike. The engine has 48 horsepower. It has a throttle body, fuel injection and 5 gear, and you can modify all the performance of the bike on the handlebar with those 4 buttons in the steering control, I would say. So you have launch control for the whole shot. You got a quick shifter, so you are able to shift up and down without using the clutch from the 2nd to the 5th gear. You got a traction control, you got a mapping switch, and with a smartphone app you can modify those settings even more with a Wi-Fi module if you install it. The whole bike has everything that you want to have on a modern motocross bike, so no compromises made. And I'm going to find out for you guys now how the bike will perform on the track. Have fun! It was a great day on the new Triumph TF250X here at Gatorback and Diamondback, and I must say Triumph did a really good job. In golfing you would probably say it's a hole-in-one. The performance of the bike is amazing. I'm positively surprised, and let's talk about the details. First, the chassis is really good. The balance is positively neutral. There's no surprises and no riding situation. You always have a feeling what's going to happen next. I have a lot of trust in this bike. I found that really quickly, and yeah, that gave me a lot of confidence in riding, a lot of safety and a lot of fun. The Kayaba suspension is adding to that trust into the bike. It's not known for any big surprises, and in no riding situation I had to feel that the fork is diving in or the rear end is kicking me up or anything else. So that worked really well and smoothly. The ergonomics of the bikes are also really good. I'm a tall rider, but I never felt like crimped on the bike. I could stand in a relaxed way, I could sit in a relaxed way, and I talked to other riders which are much smaller than me, and they also felt pretty happy on the bike. So that's also something that's not so easy to achieve. All the components work really good. The Brembo brakes are working really good. The hydraulic clutch from Brembo is working good. And so I was pretty happy with these special parts. The engine is also very amazing, and the engineers didn't promise too much when they said it's really strong, probably the strongest engine on the market in this class. And the power curve is pretty linear, but the engine is pulling in every rev range that you can hit. You can ride the bike really torquey, shift up early, or ride a gear higher in tight corners, and you have a lot of over rev. And the bike is pulling and pulling and pulling. It never stops. Also the mid-range is really strong. This makes riding the bike really easy. You don't get really tired, you don't need to use the clutch a lot, and you can focus on your riding position, on the lines on the track, and just enjoy the ride. All the buttons on the handlebar help with your riding. Let's start with the launch control. For the start, you can tell a difference if it's activated or not. I don't race that much anymore, so I don't do many starts anymore. So probably when I do 10 starts, they're all different, but I can tell there's a difference with the activated launch control. The quick shift mode is also really good. In the beginning of the day, I was playing around with it, activated it, deactivated it, and after 1/3 of the day, I decided I leave the quick shift mode activated at all times, because it does what the name says. Your shifts are much quicker with it compared to using the clutch, even if you keep the throttle wide open. When the engine is revving really high, sometimes the gear got a little bit stuck, but I had the same problem when I was using the clutch for the shifts. So it was a mistake of me, of my riding. I was revving the engine for too long, and there's a limit with the quick shift mode. But yeah, it helps you to ride really smooth. And you don't need to use a clutch finger a lot, which helps you with your energy. You don't get arm pump as quickly and can ride in a relaxed way. The traction control also worked good, and I could feel a difference if it was activated or not. With a lot of grip on the track, I couldn't tell a big difference, but when they watered the track and it became more dry and more dusty, I could tell that the traction control was helping. But when it was really slippery, it over-controlled the traction a little bit too much. So for my personal liking, that was a little bit too much, but there's good news. With a smartphone app, you can adjust the level of intensity of the traction control from 1 to 10. So I would choose a smoother one or not such a strong traction control. And the Wi-Fi module costs around about 250 euros, but I would recommend to buy that because it opens a lot more opportunities to fine-tune the bike to your needs and to your liking. The standard mapping is a more aggressive mapping, and I like that a lot, so I would recommend that for all ambitious racers and for everybody who wants to go really fast. It's hitting hard, it revs up pretty quickly in a dynamic way, but still the power characteristic is linear. And the over rev is pretty high, so you can rev the engine really high, and as I said before, it still pulls in those higher revs. The softer mapping is maybe the better mapping for hobby riders. It doesn't hit as hard as a standard mapping, but it doesn't slow down the bike. So it's a bit smoother, it's not as dynamic as a standard mapping, but still pretty good, and I was able to clear all the big jumps on both tracks that we could ride today. Hopefully that gave you a good first impression about the bike. I will write an article for 1000 PS, and you can read it online with even more details of my riding impression. If you have questions, write them in the comment below and we try to answer them as quickly as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon on this channel. See you.